Hello and welcome back to Nerd Doc. Pixar's latest film is finally here, and while most of the movie is easy to understand, the Lightyear ending, time travel, Old Buzz, and some other aspects of the film may be confusing to some. This video explains the ending of Lightyear and quickly covers the two post-credit scenes. That means there will be Lightyear spoilers in this video. There are chapter timestamps, so you can skip ahead to the ending or either of the post-credit scenes, and as a quick note, we're unable to show any footage from the movie other than what's been shown in trailers because the movie is still in theaters, so please bear with us there. If you have any questions about the ending or have a few theories of your own, leave a comment below. Before we get into the ending, we do want to make it clear that the movie kinda does what it wants when it comes to science, which can make the explanations a bit less definitive. We know, it's an animated Pixar movie, of course it's not going to be scientifically accurate. But we have to mention this because in order to explain the ending, we have to get into the science of it all, or at least some science fiction. It should also be noted that while this is the movie Andy saw that made him a big fan of Buzz Lightyear, the toys inspired by the movie are a little different from what's depicted in the actual film. It's pretty easy to pick out a number of inconsistencies between the movie Lightyear and the various Toy Story films, but most of those are not plot holes, it's just the toys building upon what was started in the movie instead of being a direct reflection of the in-universe film. Toward the end of Lightyear, Buzz runs into an older variant of himself from the future, which has a lot of people wondering how that came to be. Let's quickly backtrack to the main plot point of the film. A research vessel crash lands on a foreign planet, losing the crystal that powers the propulsion engine, stranding them on a moderately hostile world. Buzz is testing new energy crystals in order to find one that is stable enough for hyperspeed travel, which is basically the Pixar version of faster-than-light travel. Buzz tries dozens of times, only able to reach about 80% the speed of light, but because he's traveling so fast, time passes differently for him compared to everyone else. The closer you get to the speed of light, the slower time passes for you relative to someone standing still or going much slower. In science, this is referred to as time dilation. While time seems to be passing by like normal for the person traveling at the speed of light, if you, standing still, were actually to look at the clock the other person was holding, it would appear as though the clock was moving much slower. Because of this, 4 years pass every time Buzz hits 80% of the speed of light, even though it only feels like a few minutes for him. When his robot cat Socks discovers the correct formula for the crystal, Buzz is finally able to reach 100% the speed of light, causing him to lose time, or rather jump forward in time, over 20 years. This happens in multiple realities. Essentially, Lightyear takes place within a multiverse. There are an infinite number of Buzz Lightyears, many of them trying to reach 100% the speed of light. The main timeline Buzz in the movie hits 100%, travels back to his base planet, and is welcomed by evil robots controlled by Zurg. In alternate reality, Buzz Lightyear also had a successful flight, but when he landed back at the base, he was greeted by an angry Commander Burnside with no robots in sight. Because of this, alternate Buzz took off again and flew as far and as fast as he could, resulting in even more time travel further into the future. This alternate Buzz happened upon an alien robot ship with advanced technology. By experimenting with the energy crystal, he was able to travel back in time to meet up with Buzz from the main timeline. However, it also completely depleted his crystal, meaning he'll need the crystal from the other Buzz Lightyear to travel further back in time and avoid crash landing on the planet altogether. When older Buzz finally meets up with main timeline Buzz, he is revealed to be Zurg, the arch-enemy of Buzz Lightyear in the Toy Story universe. The biggest question here is how old Buzz got to the same reality as the main timeline Buzz. The movie never directly addresses this, but there are two possibilities. The first is that the energy expelled while the alternate Buzz was traveling as far and as fast as possible caused him to cross over into the same reality as the main timeline Buzz. Older Buzz then traveled back in time to meet up with the younger version of his alternate self. The second explanation is that the energy the other Buzz expelled trying to travel back in time is what caused him to shift into the reality with the main timeline Buzz Lightyear. Either way, old Buzz was not originally from the same reality as the Buzz we see throughout most of the movie. You can confirm this because the two Buzz Lightyears experienced different events after successfully reaching 100% of the speed of light. This confirms it was more than simply an older version of Buzz traveling back in time to meet a younger version of himself. Unfortunately, the older Buzz never had the opportunity to get to know Hawthorne's family beyond a few quick interactions and never befriended Izzy Hawthorne. Izzy would have never existed if older Buzz was successful in obtaining main timeline Buzz Lightyear's energy crystal and going back in time to stop the Turn-Up Command ship from ever crashing. Although if we really want to get into it, Izzy still would have existed even if Old Buzz succeeded, because it would have created a new timeline in which the ship didn't crash, but the timeline with Izzy would still exist in a parallel universe. Anyway, couple the lack of understanding of Hawthorne's family, with what is likely a bit of mental fatigue from only being able to talk to Socks for decades with no human contact, and it's easy to understand why Old Buzz refused to listen to Younger Buzz and instead tried to kill him and take the crystal for himself. Younger Buzz would have found himself in a similar situation if he hadn't had the time to befriend Izzy, Mo, and Darby, and understand that everyone on the base actually did have a fulfilling life despite not being home, because this base became their new home. Now, why they didn't just use one of the 80% light crystals to get home at some point during the 60 years it took Buzz to find the right crystal is beyond our comprehension. Even if it took 5 or 10 years longer to get home, that would have been better than spending 60 years attempting to reach 100% the speed of light. Of course, then Izzy Hawthorne likely still wouldn't exist, so I guess we're just as bad as Old Buzz. Anyway, moving on to the first post-credits scene, this is just a fun little scene with Commander Burnside and his laser shield. He was very pleased with the idea of creating a laser-based shield around the colony to protect them from the dangers of the planet. Burnside is sitting in his office when one of the dangerous bugs gets zapped by the shield, similar to a bug zapper right here on Earth, and the commander revels in his enjoyment of the laser shield's effectiveness. The second post-credit scene is the robot guide Eric, who was renamed to Derek by Izzy and her team, still providing directions to the closest functioning ship. Earlier in the movie, a ship Buzz was going to use is destroyed, so he asks where the next closest ship is located. Derek offers directions that are very similar to GPS directions here on Earth. After attempting and failing to provide directions several times, Buzz and his team just leave to find it on their own, while Derek continues to start over in an attempt to provide the correct directions. In this post-credit scene, we see Derek still trying to provide those directions. The robot is well over 60 years old at this point, so it's okay for it to have a few screws loose, so to speak. That wraps up our explanation of the Lightyear ending, older Buzz, and the 2 post-credit scenes. If you have any questions or would like to share your own theories, leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who loves Buzz Lightyear and Pixar.